right. I think we're live, which is so exciting, and welcome into everyone just starting to join in. I know it takes a second with Facebook to get that notification and to have people join. So welcome. I'm really excited to get moving and start discussing a little bit about teen as coach and what it's going to mean over the next few weeks. So let's see. I see we're live. I'm just checking in on Erickson's page, but I'm seeing the notification. So I'll start by just briefly introducing myself, and my name is Kalyna Miletic. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, but right now I'm actually joining you from Switzerland. I'm a PCC level coach, and I'm honored to have also received training from Erickson, and I'm an ECPC, so Erickson Certified Professional Coach as well, and a really grateful member of the community. I got my start with coaching with Erickson. So it's really my honor and pleasure to be here today. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I'm seeing that we're live here on my screen, so that's fantastic. And again, my name is Kalina for all those that are just joining us in now for our session. We'll be here for another 25 minutes or so. And what I'd love to make sure is really clear are three main points. So really how coaching and communication skills can benefit teens and their development. So really where they're at in their lives. I'd love to talk a little bit about the key concepts of coaching that are really going to benefit this group, and answer any questions you might have. I'm glad you're here live, and so it's a wonderful opportunity to answer any questions you have in the moment. But I'll also just speak a little bit to what you can expect and who would really benefit from joining us in the Teen as Coach programming. Again, I'm so thrilled to have you here, and I'm just giving people a moment because I know with Facebook it takes a second, but we've got some viewers live. So feel free as we're going along to just post any of your questions in the comment box below. What that'll let me do is I'll just keep monitoring it as we go along, and hopefully we can compile some great questions that I can address in a little while. If you're new to Facebook Live, it's actually really cool because you can watch together with friends or a group. So you can actually share this right now with somebody that you think might be interested or has a teen that could maybe benefit and is doing school from home. And that's really where I'd love to start. This idea really came from a dear friend and colleague of mine who I'm so grateful to know for many years. And she is also a part of the Erickson team. And she came up with this thought because she's got teens herself. And she recognized that right now with teens at home, some doing homeschooling, but some also still out of school, depending on what part in the world, there's this huge opportunity for more learning and socializing between this age group. And really, I think the value that we've identified is that, of course, being a teenager can be lonely and challenging. There's a lot you've got to navigate, parents and teachers. And I think as a parent, that's a whole other category. But where this really was birthed was the place that teens can benefit from coaching because there's so many relationships to navigate at this age. Peers, again, teachers, parents. And my lovely friend identified that and came to me with the thought and has put in so much work. I'm actually just, I want to again express a lot of gratitude toward Erickson and everyone involved in this project, aside from myself, who have put in so much. It's really going to be a very special program that I'm grateful to be a part of. And so now that we have, I think, a good group and everyone's had a chance to join in, I'd love to dive a little bit further into how coaching and communication skills can really benefit teens and the place that they're at in their development, both of course their brain development, but also really just in terms of hormones and social setting, where they're at in life. What we identified is that teens, and with my experience, I've done some work with different high schools in Ontario and also some in California. And what I've identified strongly myself is that teens are, of course, looking for independence or looking for autonomy. They're really trying to figure out, who am I? That question. And that was actually, it came up in a meeting yesterday, and Richard, who's an amazing expert in the field at Erickson, was speaking to this point beautifully and talked about how teens are really figuring this out on an identity level. And his input really sparked even more thought in me to say, wow, you know what? The key of what we want teens to feel in showing up as coaches in their everyday lives and communicating from a coaching place in their everyday lives is really a deeper understanding of who they are and how they want to show up as that person. And that's a really challenging thing to navigate, I think, for anyone at any age. But for teens especially, they're really identifying with, who am I? Who do I want to be with my peers, my parents? Where do I fit in, not only in my family structure, but also at school and again, beyond, as they start getting internships or part-time jobs. It's a really interesting time to get very clear on who they are. And what coaching can do is really start asking those questions to the learner that would be in the Teen as Coach program. And I think that's about the benefit of coaching for anyone, really, is that it prompts us to ask questions to ourselves and really reflect and take a moment to think about what our authentic answers are. So that's a start on where coaching can help. The powerful questions that teens will be able to ask themselves about, who am I? Who am I with my friends? Who am I being at home? Who am I being at school? How do I want to show up? Am I showing up that way? And then when it comes to communication skills, I mean, this ties hand in hand. When we're able to better communicate with ourselves, of course, we're showing up able to communicate better with others. So learning how to negotiate with parents and teachers, a big one. Also, decision-making strategies to navigate peer pressure, or how to react to challenging situations like difficult exams, or something that your parent is maybe not allowing you to do that you really want to do, right? So that's something where, when we can communicate really clearly and effectively, we're able to really navigate just about any scenario better, because the other person, the audience listening to us, is able to, of course, understand us better and then be on the same page. Another piece that I think is really powerful for development is, of course, when we're clear on who we are and we're asking ourselves these questions, we're building confidence. And as a teen, I know we were just actually discussing before we got on the live, as a teen, I mean, gosh, high school was one of the hardest times of my life to feel like I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't really know how to express myself to teachers or even my parents. I didn't feel confident in sharing my opinion. And really, what we love to do with the development of communication skills and coaching skills, the deeper intention there is to build a sense of self and therefore a deeper sense of confidence, so that any learner taking this program walks out really feeling like they know themselves a little bit better, and so they can show up as themselves a little bit better. And of course, along with that, I mean, school is stressful, exams can be challenging, managing stress and lots of responsibilities can feel overwhelming at any age. But being, 14 to 18, 19, it's a challenging time to try to navigate, again, socializing along with all of the responsibilities of school and family and all the extracurriculars. There's a lot going on. So our hope is that with better communication skills, more confidence, an understanding of who we really want to be, we're able to manage responsibilities better by being authentic about what we say yes to and what we say no to. I think we've covered a couple of key concepts of coaching that'll benefit this group, but something a little bit deeper. We had a great discussion with a learner that took a coaching course with Erickson, and he was mentioning a real benefit was also planning questions. And what I mean by that is questions that help us get a lot clearer on what we want to do, even over the course of a day, how we're managing our day and our time, even our feelings, and what outcomes we're looking to create. And so there are great questions around that and around planning questions that this specific learner actually mentioned he was using every day when it came to school and planning out his day. And what a better time than now to work on time management when we're all at home with competing attention. You've got parents, teens at home, maybe younger siblings. It's a great time to work on focus and time management. And so, planning questions to be able to really get clear on the outcomes that we want to create. A powerful concept to walk out of this program with. I just want to pause for a moment because we're about halfway through, or just about, and I want to check in. Oh, Angelina, hello. I'm seeing a comment there in the chat, and actually, that's great. Angelina and I took we took a module of our Erickson training together, so that's amazing to see you here. Hello. Thank you for joining us. So I'd love to take this opportunity right now to just again invite you to start populating some questions in the chat. Is there anything that I've said so far that's interesting that you want to hear more about, that isn't clear, or I could clarify further? Getting lots of wonderful acknowledgements in the chat. So hello, away from Anita and Dieter, who actually is just down the street from me. So very cool. Something that isn't necessarily specific to teen as coach programming, but just Erickson as a whole in the community. I am astounded every day at how globally reaching this community is. Again, I'm in Switzerland, originally from Canada, and I mean, Dieter's just down the street, and I was able to connect with another Erickson coach. And I think that's something that isn't necessarily a coaching concept, so to speak, but a huge benefit that this program is going to deliver for teens, which is we're going to have learners from potentially all across North America, if not beyond. So what a brilliant way, especially during this time of, being at home and really focused on family and what's around us. What a great time to socialize with learners from potentially all over the world. And as you can see here from the chat, even by me, I mean, Angelina and I took module 1 together, and we're still in communication now. The relationships I've formed with Erickson personally, as a coach, as a TA, as a learner, they really do span beyond the training itself. And that's another benefit that might not be so tangible and might not be directly related to coaching concepts, but I think is really going to deliver strongly in this programming because of its online nature and the fact that we can connect with people all over. So although students right now are having the opportunity to do some learning online with school, this is going to be a whole new social circle that they could connect with and socialize with. It's going to be international, really, which is quite exciting. And again, some really long lasting relationships that I've cultivated personally, I can speak to, that are truly long lasting, and some of the people I've never even met in person. So it's a special place, Erickson, and I'm again just so grateful to be here. And for anyone just joining us now, my name is Kalyna Miletic. I'm a PCC level coach with the ICF, and I've had the wonderful opportunity of also training with Erickson, so being an ECPC, Erickson Certified Professional Coach. And I'm so grateful to be involved with a pilot program that's being run now with Erickson, of course, called Teen as Coach. And we're really going to be delving into brain hacks for teens. So what we're talking about when it comes to brain hacks is, how do you use the power of your mind to be the person you want to be and to understand yourself better, to be showing up in situations at school, with your parents, with your friends, where you're able to be the person that you want, this ideal vision. And if you're sitting there going, I don't know who that is, I'm trying to figure that out, that's perfect. That's exactly, I think, where a lot of us are actually, but especially in high school and from the ages of, 12 to 21 and again beyond, I think we're all figuring out, who do I want to be in these scenarios when I get a really bad grade and I'm not happy with it? How do I want to respond to that? How do I want to communicate when somebody says something to me that I really disagree with? How can I stand up for myself and be confident and show up as a leader, or show up as a compassionate person with empathy? Really, the decision about how you want to be is up to you. But I think what we're going to be able to do in this program, which is hugely exciting, is that we'll be able to start asking those questions. I'd love to delve in a little bit into answering some questions about the Teenage Coach program specifically. So what you can expect and who would really benefit. And what I'd love to say about that, first of all, is what you can expect is absolutely connection and experiential learning. So real time discussions with peers, collaborating on ideas, discussing new ideas, sharing your opinion, having discussions with 2, 3, 4 peers, and then all the way up to the entire group in group class discussions. Our intention with this program is really not to just deliver more homework and have it be another layer of responsibility. The hope is that by showing up to class weekly, it'll be on Saturdays at 10 a.m. PST to 12:20 PST with a break, of course. Our intention with that is that weekly you can show up in a place where you can be yourself, figure out who that is, figure out how you want to interact with others in a really safe space where everyone's consciously presently figuring that out. And then you can also leave with some really great, again, brain hacks where you've got some tools and really easy and accessible ways to use your mind to your advantage, right? To really show up and again, be this person you want to be. And it's hard to do that sometimes with stress. It can be challenging to do that with different competing responsibilities or different people giving you opinions. And so now is really the time, I think, with the developmental stage of teenagers, it's really the perfect age to start asking yourself these questions and being really honest with yourself, and then getting confident about that person, trusting that that person is great and that you don't have to be like anybody else. You also don't have to be so different. It's this scale. And I'm just so excited to be a part of whoever is ready to explore this with us. So in terms of who would benefit, I think it's really anyone ready to socialize and discuss about the mind and how we can use it to be better. It's for anyone who wants to communicate better with teachers, with friends, with themselves, anyone that's struggling with stress or responsibilities and maybe wants a way to understand some cool tips on how to actually navigate that with a little bit more ease, a little bit more confidence, a little bit more peace, feeling like when something happens that you didn't anticipate, you can actually show up and navigate that, and that it's not, the world is ending and everything is going down. It's more, you feel more resourceful, you feel stronger, you feel like even if things don't go your way, you know how to navigate them. That's really my hope. My hope is for more confidence and the ability to speak our minds very authentically. And so I think the two go really hand in hand. So this is for anyone who wants some more confidence and wants to be able to communicate in a way where they're actually heard. When you have a request, when you have a want, when you have a desire, when there's something you've envisioned and you want to bring it, to others, again, peers, teachers, friends, parents, you get acceptance, and not only acceptance, but you have understanding. So again, who would benefit? I mean, when I really thought about that question to bring some ideas today to this discussion, I think it's anyone aged 12 to 19, even maybe 20, who really wants to get some strategies to make more aligned decisions, to navigate some of the challenges of growing up, some of the challenges of being where you're at right now, and to feel confident about who you are, and to learn how to negotiate with different people. And then, of course, there's going to be this huge piece on the brain hacking side, right? The brain science, the neuroscience hacks to make life easier. That's an exciting key point that we'll delve into, again, in a very conversational and experiential way. So my hope is that everyone will be able to be engaged and bring their take to the table. In terms of parents, I do just kind of want to address parents a little bit more specifically and say, I think some of the benefits here will be the development of a strong sense of identity, time and energy management skills. Really, we'll be able to help the learners to get empowered to step up and speak up about the things that they believe in, which is so important now more than ever. And to really have the strategies and, again, the confidence to think through challenging situations like peer pressure or life choices, course decisions, right? When you have to make decisions about what courses you're going to take to potentially go into life after high school. I mean, that's a huge arena where it'd be great to have some strategies as to how to make decisions that you feel great about while you're making them, but also after you have made them, right? So from a parent perspective, it's an activity on a Saturday that will bring a lot of value in the moment, using experiences and social connection for the learners, and not be an additional homework or late night type of activity. It'll really be in the moment and an experience that learners will walk away with some great tools that they've practiced already. They've practiced using them. I think that's what's so cool about Erickson, and really the way that coaching works is that it's very much so about the learner experiencing the shift in thinking. It's not, me standing up there or speaking there and saying how we need to think and talking about it. It's people experiencing it in the moment. I think that's what's so brilliant and effective about coaching and powerful questions. We've got just about 7 minutes to go, so I want to make sure that I'm really able to address some questions for anyone in the chat. And so I'm seeing some more acknowledgements. Yeah, great question, Nicole. Thanks. So will they develop leadership skills? It's a great question. I think to answer that, and it's funny, that's actually what I'm focused upon deeply is leadership skills and what those even are. And I think when we look at it, confidence is one piece of leadership, and being able to lead is being confident that your thoughts and your opinions are valuable and that they can be heard by others, and you're safe enough and you feel secure enough to share with your group, whether it's in your classroom or a working group in a project or with your parents. So I think, to me, leadership means what you do every day, and being a leader is about how you choose to show up in the little moments, right? You get to choose to be a leader when even pick up trash on the side of the road. You're leading by example. And that's really my hope for the leaders coming in the next generation is leading by example and not this idea of telling, right? So, will they develop leadership skills? Yeah, I think any leader that's asking themselves questions about who they want to be, how they want to respond, what values they embody, what's important to them, I think anyone that can answer those questions is set up to be a really brilliant, empathetic, powerful leader that's going to not only impact change, but have the support of the community around them with clear communication skills and a solution-focused mindset. That's a leader I want to follow, that's for sure. Yeah, and Heidi, just repeating that point, the idea of new and meaningful connections teens can have with other teens from around the world. I can't emphasize this enough. The Erickson community has been so supportive of me from the beginning of my coaching career all the way up until today, and I'm blown away actually by the levels of support. And any learner joining Tina's coach or any other programming can expect the same. And it's not just in the wins. Erickson's a brilliant community, even when there's challenge and struggle. I had a call this morning with a fellow Erickson coach and blown away by the support. So the connections that these teens will be making in the class, they really do last well beyond the course itself. Faye, hello. Thank you for joining us. Is there more information to find basic info? I'm guessing like the start date, which again is May 2nd, 10 a.m. PST, 2 hours and 20 minutes a session. It'll be Saturdays for 8 sessions. Great question. We'll get a link posted in the comments below here so you can check out the URL and really get some more info. We have a brochure, and we'll have 2 more webinars. So these will be a little bit more close knit, let's call it. They'll be in a room, so you can register for those, and we'll get those links underneath this video, so you'll absolutely have access. And what we'll do is we'll actually speak with one of the learners who has taken part in Erickson programming and get a real discussion going. We'll do some in-time coaching, and those are going to be this Saturday, so the 18th of April at 10 a.m. PST, and then again on April 25th at 10 a.m. PST. So please, if you've got more questions or kind of just want to experience this a little bit more, because this is definitely a lot of me just sharing information. If you want to experience what this would be like in a session, please do join us on the 18th, again, this Saturday, or the 25th, which is the following Saturday, and really get an experience of me as well as what coaching can do and what it's about. A final question here before we wrap up. I'm seeing again, thank you for that. Will this help them with managing their grades, projects, sports, performance? Great question. I think it's something we're all working on, managing all of the different parts of our lives, right? It's something we're all learning how to do. What I can say about coaching in this particular program is that the concept I mentioned earlier, I think, is a big one, which are the planning questions, and really these questions that help us to design what outcome we want out of a scenario will definitely help with managing both energy and time, so where the actual time is going, along with the different activities that are going on, and taking a look at performance from a perspective of, like you said, grades, sports performance. Oh, let's see. So Faye, there's a link there, by the way, just showed up. This will really be helpful. I want to address this clearly. Will this help with performance or managing performance in different arenas, right? And that's something that I think a lot of teens are managing. You might have a part-time job, you've got courses, you've got your parents asking you for stuff, you've got your friends and you want to spend time with your friends, you've got some sort of hobby that you want to do and you want time for. There's all this competing attention, competing, I guess, vies for your attention. And so how will this help? Well, if you're really clear on what you want, where you want to go, who you want to be, it's a lot easier to focus your attention and thereby manage your performance. Now, when it comes to stress specifically, which I think having all these things on the go, the whole management of it is managing, okay, how do I feel? What do I have time for? What can I do now? This is too much. I can put time here. The managing of things. I think what really helps there are the planning questions. And what I mean by that is, again, by being able to sort out, okay, I want to get this result in this. I want to dedicate this much time to that. Really giving a structure to just figuring out where we want to go, right? Again, if it's with a course, visioning the successful outcome as of the course and what you want to put into that. If it's about an extracurricular, okay, how much time do you want to be giving outside of the extracurricular, and what does even performance or success in that course mean? So in terms of managing it all, I think when we are able to put it all out on the table like that, so to speak, that's a first step to getting a hold of all the different moving parts that any of us have in life. And this course will definitely empower the learners to do that. So thank you for your question. We're at 7:30 my time here, so 10:30 PST. So I'd love to just thank you all for joining in, and to thank you for this comment here. I'm just seeing our teens right now in America need help with management while being at home with their parents. Yeah, I think the ability to manage ourselves is what's really going to promote these types of results that we all want. So from a teenage, how can a teen help their friends with managing stress and defeating fear? Yeah, these are great questions. What I would say is, I think it starts with us. So before any of us can help a friend, we need to make sure that we've got those skills and we're able to do that for ourselves. And especially for teens, I mean, 14 to 19, that whole age group, we're really figuring out our individuality, ourselves. How can we manage us to start? And I think once we get a hold of that, it's sort of the metaphor of making our own bed, right? Before we try and go out and make anyone else's. And so the idea would be teens will really get a sense of what they want their bed to look like, how they want to make it, what their structure is going to be for the person they want to be, identifying values, visioning who they want to show up as. I think when they're able to do that, and they know that what empathy means to them, or how to plan things and sort of hack a scenario, like maybe a missed assignment or not getting the result they want, when they're able to really get into it and understand, okay, this happened and I'm going to navigate it like this, and really think through in a in a structured and solution focused way, um, that's the start to a ripple effect where they will be able to help their friends with managing stress and helping them by asking them coaching questions. But I think it starts with them experiencing it themselves. And so I would love to invite anyone that finds this interesting, who wants to learn some brain hacks, learn a little bit about the brain and how it's working in the teen years, experience coaching themselves, meet some new friends, maybe meet some people that are interested in similar things, get more confident, learn how to negotiate with parents, teachers, peers. Anyone interested in that, I would invite you to another webinar on Saturday, so the 18th, or next week on the 25th, to explore what this is really about, because I've shared my take, I've given some information, hopefully covered the main points for today. But again, the proof is really going to be in experiencing it. So if this is of interest, please do join us on one of those webinar dates. I'd love to see you there and have you to experience Tina's coach and coaching and the Ericksonian way of solution-focused coaching and powerful questions. So with that, I'd love to thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Kalina. I'm honored to have had you here. Thank you again to Erickson for having me and having this program. I think it's so exciting and needed. So please do join us. The links are below for details on the programming, or if you'd like to join us for a webinar. And I wish you an amazing rest of your day.